And now, from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara Podcast. Here's Jeff.
Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday to you. And if you're on the other side of the planet, happy Sunday to you. It's Saturday night, open live Zoom time. So if you're ready to come on and share, then we're ready to have you. I think we've already got about 4 or 5 people in the waiting room, so we can get started. Now, for the last 2 weeks, I started a meditation, and maybe I should have said last time, if somebody wants to come lead the meditation, you're welcome to do so if you think you can do it. If there's somebody here that can lead it, we can do it. I see Leslie's here, and I know that, even if Leslie wasn't, I have some background music, but I didn't put it out there. And I thought about making a post today, a community post, but I didn't do that either, and I probably should have. So while we're waiting, maybe somebody can message me, or if they think that they can lead it. I see someone named Daniel here. We've got Leslie here and someone named Nikki here. So I'm not really sure how we want to do this. Sue McKimmey says that we don't need talking for meditation. It distracts you. So we could always just have Leslie, play some music to meditate to for a few minutes. We just have to figure out what we want to do. So while we're deciding, and I'm keeping my eye on the chat here. So Douglas also says that meditation should be quiet. But this is a show, and I'm here, we're here to do stuff. So I'm kind of like torn between actually, doing a meditation or not. And Pip says dance party. So you could all just get up and dance at your desktops or at your phone. That's also a possibility. While I'm waiting for a minute to see if anybody is going to want to do that, let me share what's going on for this week. I had a woman yesterday that I recorded from Germany, near Frankfurt, that had an NDE in India. And so we talked about that and other interesting things, and I think you guys are going to like that one. That'll be coming up tomorrow night. Let's see. Today I recorded a Russian woman that came up with a new spiritual system called meta spirituality, and that was real interesting. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. That will be coming out on Monday night. Let's see. I've got 2 people I'm going to be recording on Monday. 2 NDEs. I've got a woman that's a hospice nurse, and she was a nun for a while too, that I'm supposed to record on Tuesday. I think it's another YouTube channel. We may be talking about the Matrix and the illusion and the simulation, and he is called Truth Theory. So if any of you check out the YouTube channel Truth Theory, then you may know this person, and he'll be coming on on Wednesday. Well, that's when I'll be recording it. Thursday, a man named Sujit from India that will be talking about the simulation. On Friday, I will be speaking with Althea Lucrezia, and I think she's also pretty popular on YouTube about star beings and star seeds. So if you know that person, maybe you'll know that. So some interesting guests coming up, and then a man named Seth about lion. I have my quick notes. Maybe they're lion beings. We had the NDE not too long ago that she felt that she was a kind of a lion-human hybrid from another star system, and this person is talking about lion-human aliens. So that's coming up. What's the next one? I think dream analysis, then another NDE, another NDE, another NDE, and I don't have anybody booked to record on St. Patrick's Day. So that might be pretty interesting to have something of St. Patrick's. And I see in the chat that Susie's here, and I saw some of her pictures, and it's pretty interesting. The woman who has reincarnated as other people, she brought the pictures with us to show us this week. So that'll be real interesting to check out. And I think that's it. So nobody has put in the chat or messaged me anywhere about wanting to lead the meditation. I don't see that. And I'm not really sure if I want to do one that's just music only. I'll ask one last time. Do you want a music only meditation, or do we want to just get started and maybe someone will show up later, and then I'll try to have somebody actually scheduled for next week? It's going to take 30 seconds for this to get here. So while I'm waiting on that, just to let you know, if you do want to join, you go to zoom.com, you click join a meeting, and in the description below the video is a link. That's, not a link, but there's my room ID. So it's going to ask you enter the room ID or something like that, and you enter that number. And then it will ask you for the passcode. And the passcode is also down below the video. So you have to enter that in exactly how it is because it's case sensitive. And so we'll go with that. So it looks like people are ready to get started. So let's go ahead and bring in Daniel then. And see who Daniel Lovett is. The name sounds familiar.
Yes.
Daniel, I hear you.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. I just don't see you yet.
Okay, let me see if I can start the video. There I go.
There you are. You've been on before?
No, I think we just been in chat via email.
Oh, okay. You look familiar.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
I do have a YouTube channel as well.
Oh, really? What is it called?
It's called Awakening with Daniel Lovett.
Okay, yeah. Now I think I checked that. You look familiar because I went and checked out your channel.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Cool. So I'm guessing you can talk about some of the stuff that the content that you're on, that you have on your channel. So what do you have to share with us tonight?
First of all, Jeff, I just want to say kudos to you. Congratulations on the success of your channel. It's one of my favorite shows to check out.
Oh, thank you very much.
I even check it out on Spotify as I'm driving around. I'm an Uber driver.
Oh, cool.
As well, so got that going sometimes in my car. But yeah, my channel is all about awakening spiritually, obviously spiritual, awakening with Daniel Lovett.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really kind of catalog some of my own journey and discoveries along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I wanted to interview people about encounters with Jesus.
Okay.
When he's shown up in someone's life. I've interviewed a few near-death experiencers.
Mm-hmm. Great.
One of my earliest interviews was with Howard Storm.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of people. He's a famous guy.
Yeah, his story just so touched my life because it was very reminiscent of my own spiritual journey. And I went through this season of darkness, which was, he had a very hellish experience, and I kind of went through this series, this season of despair, depression, and he mentioned seeing that little spark, that light that appeared to him,
Mm-hmm.
that was Jesus, who rushed down to encounter him and heal
Mm-hmm.
him, and he had this amazing interview with Jesus. And I remember when my despair, my depression finally broke, I too saw this little pinprick of light that just kind of over the years grew, and I healed a lot from that depression
I,
that I was in. So
I was going to ask, have you had your own encounter with Jesus?
yes, I have. I
What?
have.
Tell us about it.
Well, starting out when I was 12 years old, that's really when he appeared to me for the first time. I was in my treehouse in my backyard, and he arrived like as this ball of glory, and I knew that it's like all of a sudden just had this very like spiritual awareness. Like all of a sudden I knew so much more. It's like something jolted, I guess, in your, you know, in your my spiritual awareness, my spiritual eye. I saw him with my spiritual eyes, not my physical eyes. So he came, and just really what stood out to me was his character. He showed up as my father, and and I knew it was Jesus, and there was no hint of judgment whatsoever. And that was important to me, especially because as a young man, I was like struggling with some sins, and he actually came to warn me about going down that pathway of sin, and what might happen to me. And sure enough, those things did happen to me, because I didn't take the hint and the clue of what he was bringing to me. I didn't go that direction. I kind of fell away from God and the faith for most of my teenage years, and was beset with a lot of demonic harassment over the years. And
Mm-hmm.
then finally that broke when I was like 18 years old, when I came back to the Lord at what was called a Promise Keepers meeting, and decided then and there to become a disciple of Jesus Christ. And walking out of that place, I felt God's presence all around me. And it wasn't too shortly after that I started to having more mystical encounters with Jesus. One of them was just during a dream. I was napping one afternoon, and I found myself in the Garden of Gethsemane, and Jesus was approaching, and there was like this fence and this gate, and he came through the gate, walked right up to me, and just embraced me. And I felt like what you read about in scripture, like his soul was crushed with grief to the point of death. Like some of that passed to me as I embraced him, like I was carrying his burden with him in some mystical way. Um, and yeah, I woke up out of that. It was just breathtaking experience with Jesus.
Let me
Then
let me ask you this. Do you feel like you have a more traditional biblical viewpoint of Jesus, or a more of a mystical, non-traditional viewpoint?
And see, that's an excellent question, because it's in meeting him that there's ways to read the scripture there, and ways not to see Jesus, not to truly encounter him, um, because of programming. It skews the way you see it and the way you read scripture. So I came to know him in a very mystical way, and very not religious way, in person, that helped me to see the Bible the way it was meant to be received. Um, and so the Bible actually came alive for the first time in a brand new way after encountering him in these ways. And all of us can go through seasons of like, okay, falling away, and going into depression. I mean, my depression happened when I was in my 20s, all the way to the age 30, like 23 to 30. There was a 7-year stretch, where, yeah, it was a really dark time in my life. And that was even after I'd encountered Jesus. Because um yeah, I mentioned that happened at 18 with that vision of Jesus in Gethsemane. And then like a year later, I was praying one night, and I'd heard about this praying in tongues, and I didn't know what that was all about. And I tried it a couple times before, and I wasn't sure if it was real or whatever. I'm like, okay, I'll give this another try. And I started to try to speak in tongues, and just with faith like a child, I guess, and then something just clicked, and all of a sudden it just got really intense, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is real. Like, it just clicked in, and it just grew so loud and intense. And it was at that moment that Jesus like floated through the wall into my room, and that was when like he anointed me. I guess that's a way of saying it. It was like you did a whole body energy scan on me from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet and back up again, and commissioned me for my life's work.
When you were praying in tongues, do you think that you were channeling while you were praying?
Yeah,
And who
yeah.
were you channeling?
I've actually had a lot of insight since then, because there was another experience I had more recently, in 2019, an awakening experience where I was shown all about what happens when you speak in tongues. It's like your shared consciousness with your soul family. So like, say, and I'm going to use this term, spirit guides, or like, I like that term personally because that's it accurately describes them. But like, they're your like soul, like you have guardian angels, for lack of a better word. And when you pray in tongues, you can either be sharing consciousness with one of them, one of the hosts of heaven, or from Jesus Christ himself or Holy Spirit. And some of it's just your own spirit expressing itself. But there's a lot of shared experience with consciousness when we speak in tongues as well.
Hmm.
So
Lately, when I watch and read all kinds of stuff, and lately I've been watching a video where this guy is interpreting Jesus's sayings from the Gospel of Thomas,
mhm.
which, it's not, I think that's one of the books that was left on the editing floor of the final version of the Bible. And from what I've been hearing and what he is saying is that when Jesus is speaking of the kingdom of heaven, what he's really talking about is what a lot of near death experiencers seem to encounter, is this etheric, energetic world on the other side that is everybody's, linked in together, just one universal consciousness. And I think that's what, from what he's saying, is what Jesus is trying to tell you, what you're trying to, that's what your goal is, to connect with.
Yes, yes. And I really think that's what Jesus was saying when we're born again. Like the matrix of our experience is like the womb, and he intends for us to get born again, to come out of the matrix. And that's really what described, like, that's how I saw my experience in 2019 when I went into like this astral realm, and the first one to meet me was Jesus Christ himself walking, coming toward me. And like, when I saw him, I'm like, I want to live out of you. I just shouted at the top of my lungs, like three times real loud, I want to live out of you. And he was approaching me as in the role of my merciful and faithful high priest. He wanted me to know that, like, Daniel, I've got you. You're, my sacrifice for you, um, you know, is effective for you too. And that was something I just needed to know. And he actually did the sign of the cross on me as like a joke, because with a big smile on his face when he finally got up to me and anointed me with his blood. That's what he did, just to let me know, like, hey, you're covered by my blood. Like, it took care of you too. And then he said, now that you're here, what do you want to see? Where do you want to know? Where do you want to go? And the first thought I had was the throne room. And so he took me, like, instantly. We teleported to see the throne room at a distance. It was like this flurry of activity, like the center of a galaxy. It was breathtaking, but it was like way too intense for me. It was like Neo coming out of the Matrix and he's about to pop, kind of experience. And he's like, okay, I know what you need. And that was when he took me to meet my soul family.
Hmm.
And I was in like this stadium seating of like thousands of beings, and I saw that they were all standing over portals to their own matrix of experience, and to other universes, to other planets, to other points in human history. And my overwhelmed first knowing when I saw them all was, oh, it's me. That was my first knowing, like, we're all connected. And then they went on to teach me. First of all, they greeted me. They said Kundahai, which means welcome in our language. It's the one word I'm very fluent on. I mean, and I spoke in tongues. Like I was speaking in tongues with this my soul family, with this tribe of the host of heaven, for like 5 hours, and with Jesus too. And we did some inner healing work, and there was all this other stuff going on, lots of lessons to be learned. And yeah, so one of the things they showed me is that we're all fractals of the soul of God. So you're right. And when you say that, I told that story to kind of lead up to that. Like, that's what they showed me. Like, we're all part of the tree of life. We're all fractals of the soul of God. We're all aspects of divine consciousness, observation points of divine consciousness. And that he's in the business of healing us all as well, bringing full reconciliation to every part of himself. He's faithful to himself because it's him that we're all part of him. We're all, yeah.
That's great. All right. Well, before I run here, what is the name of your channel again?
Yeah, it's Awakening with Daniel Lovett.
Okay, and so that's what it's called, Awakening with Daniel Lovett. And you've kind of got interviews with people having encounters with Jesus and possibly mystical Jesus's mystical teachings.
Well, absolutely. In fact, I'll get on there usually at late night and do some channeling myself. And
So you'll do live channeling on your channel?
yeah,
Oh, cool.
I'll just tune in, connect with God, and yeah, it's a fun time.
All right.
It's very entertaining, at least to me. I know a lot of people have enjoyed it as well, but
All right. Well, Daniel, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us tonight. I wish you massive success with your channel, and maybe sometime you can come back if you can channel quickly, or you can, get into the zone quickly. Maybe sometime you can pop in on a Saturday and channel for us a little bit. I think that would be pretty awesome, because we have a couple hundred people here that would probably have some interesting questions for your channeling.
okay. Yeah, that sounds
I
awesome.
think that'd be pretty cool. So thanks for stopping by. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, pleasure
I
meeting
wish you
too,
the
Jeff.
best, and I'll see you later.
Okay, see you, Jeff.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so what do you guys think about that? Would you like him to come by on a Saturday and do some live channeling? Let me move this out of the way so I can see myself. So that, if you guys will be willing to ask some questions, if you want to be part of a live channeling. And it's going to take me a few minutes for that to get here. And Susie is here. Now, Susie was here last Saturday, and she was talking about who she was prior to being here on this incarnation.
Hello?
Hello, Susie?
Yes?
All right. I'm waiting for you. I see a white screen. You're almost here. You're here. You're here. I hear your voice, but I don't see you. For some reason, your screen's white.
Okay. Say a prayer, because as you know, my camera was broken and I did fix it. And in fact, today I was speaking with my daughter and the screen was white momentarily. However, the camera did come online. So we really need to pray about it.
All right, we will wait a moment and hope for the best.
Oh, please.
And
I know.
while we're waiting here,
yes,
we will wait and see what happens, and hopefully you'll come through here in a minute. It's interesting that your channel is that it's doing that.
Oh, wow. I was praying to God to please allow this camera, because as you know, I have the photographs and I'm ready to go.
Yeah. How did you break your camera?
It was old. I had to actually go in and loosen the wires. So I'm not quite sure what. Oh, wow. I just spent hours talking with my daughter. The camera was working just fine. I'm not sure why. I'm afraid to touch it. Oh, Lord Jesus, please. Speaking of Jesus, Daniel is wonderful. I have, in fact, seen Jesus. And let me tell you something about Jesus. His beard is so meticulous. His beard alone will enthrall you for life. I have never forgotten it. There's no words.
Now, I've had a handful of near-death experience guests say that they saw Jesus and he looked like the painting from the young girl. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but I'm sure most of you
Oh, okay.
know who I am speaking of, or the painting
Yes,
that I'm
I
speaking
do.
of.
He
And
has an
did
unusual
Jesus
name.
look like that to you?
No, actually. Similar, but not exactly like that, no.
All right. I don't know what to say about your
Yeah, I'm very disappointed in
I
this.
do not know what to say about that. You could maybe try to leave and come back. Or maybe there you go. You're there. Maybe try turning it on again. Let's see what happens. Nope. I guess it's something with your. Oh,
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
really trying right now. This is really, I was praying that it would work. Why? What a,
What if you unplug your camera and plug it back in?
it's just something loose. For real.
Forever Conscious Research Channel. Thank you so much for that super thanks.
This is really.
But it'd have to be, it's too much. I can't show photos and do this because it'll be a complete mess. It won't work that way.
Well, as I told you before, give me one moment because Brandon, my deceased fiance, who's in communication with me all the time, he apparently thinks that I can do this. If I can't in the next few seconds, we can go ahead and try maybe a little bit later in the show if you like. But
Yeah.
he's optimistic, so I'm not quite sure what the issue is. And clearly, I cannot take my camera apart right now. This really requires an act of God. Hello? I really have so much to say, and I really wanted these photos up here. Okay, we may have to let it go for now.
All right. Well, I'll be here for another hour and a half. So if you can fix it and come back, we'll be here.
All right. I appreciate it, Jeff.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So let's bring Leslie in and see if he can play some music for us, channel us up something. And if you want to get in, as I was saying before, all you have to do is use Zoom and you can get in and join us. And we'll see where our good friend Leslie is.
Leslie, always here.
I hear you, but I don't see our good friend.
Okay, if you like, see me.
There he is. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, Leslie Kings. And did many people come after the show and go to your channel to listen to you play for a while?
There was so much blessing. So I'm very, very happy to serve your audience. Continue if you'd like to come. Yeah.
So when this is over tonight, if you guys want to keep hanging out, chatting, and listening to fantastic music, you can go from my channel over to Leslie's channel, and Leslie will be performing music for you, and you guys can hang out in the chat and chit chat and whatever else you like to do. And I think that's amazing. And you know what I just thought about this is, hey Leslie, are you a member of our Discord?
Yes, but I need to be honest. I'm not yet in my heart for involved Discord. I don't know why, maybe later when I have the time.
Because I believe, what I was going to say is I believe you can video chat there, and maybe once a week you could pop into Discord and play there too.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really will talk with the Lord about these things for maybe just something very important. Often happening something what is try hinder something very important way.
Right.
Like the Lord want.
Right. So, there's that. Wow, Fairies of Venus. Thank you very, very much. That's very surprising. Wow. Oh, it's Merlin. Wow, Merlin. Thank you for being so generous. Thank you, Merlin. Wow. The last time you were here, you were super generous. So, I'm kind of speechless. I don't know what to say besides thank you so much, Merlin. So if you like, since we don't have someone to lead the meditation this week, maybe you can channel us something.
I was really blessed for both of your guests before we meet now, and they talk a name. What is the most famous name, I think so, is Jesus Christ. And exact, I like to just once again emphasize, and my channeling this way in music and maybe a few words, maybe tongues also, for this is the most wonderful things. Just forget to receive love, light, and life. And these three words all about Jesus. Love, light, and life. And if we receive him, everything is energized, powerful. You will be powerful with the Holy Spirit and the frequency what we want, basically. You're just raising up by God's grace.
All right, I didn't add, but I'm adding in your other camera as well.
Oh, this is the time for open my camera. Yeah,
there we are.
Here.
There you go. This way we can see that Leslie is the real deal. He's actually playing. He's not faking.
It's here. Yeah, so if you're ready or everybody ready,
we are ready. We are ready.
Mouth.
Whenever you are ready. First, let's have you just play a few notes to make sure we hear you.
Yeah, this is good to know.
Yep, I hear you just fine.
Wonderful, let's start.
All right, you ready?
I am on the line.
Go ahead.
Soplomon le prenella renesis, lo desmore planderos. Ebremene cranaso cloprenda loiros. Enzivi amore nelle planderos. O bramen den crandellas in the north, higher and higher. more love, more light, so you can have life.
Bravo, Leslie. Bravo. Thank you for that. That was beautiful.
God bless you. Jesus is amazing.
There was a message. I don't know if it was from Strong Healer, but somebody wanted to know if you are willing to collaborate with people so they can sing along with your music.
This is try my wife, for why you don't do the things what the Lord do in your life freely. You just holding things. Yes, I can sing also, and sometimes, if you remember, I sung also. Basically, this is work together. Yes.
All right. Well, there you have it. So I guess if he wants to contact you, then it's best to he'd maybe just find you on your channel and contact you there.
Yes, this is the easiest. Last time you asked me for write in the chat about my YouTube channel, and maybe write an email address also, so people easy to can go after your service anytime after when you finish, and they can email me, anytime. It's fine. I'm very happy to serve people and share love.
All right, Leslie, I'm going to run to the next person, but thank you so much for coming and performing for us. We really appreciate you.
I'm running back to my prayer room for be ready for receive to serve after your service.
Right.
So we just saying always, God bless you.
God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, next up is Miriam I'm going to say it's Rumbo, but I'm probably wrong. We'll see. And we have a lot of openings, so if you're sitting and waiting, wondering if you want to join me, now is a good time while there's not a big line. And I'll put on a little background music while we're waiting for Miriam to try to join us here. All right, so while we're waiting for Miriam, also in the description below is a link. There's more links. There's a link to the JeffMara Facebook page. And so sometimes I post other stuff there besides my videos. So if you want to check that out, you're welcome to. Oh, Mika says she wants to say hi to everybody. So we'll have Mika come in and say hi. Can you say hi to Mika? She's been hanging out with... There she is. She's real relaxed and chill today. There we go. Maybe if I can hold her up like this, she can join me. I guess the camera's just not at a great angle, so we can all see Mika too. I have to hold her like that. Mika is a total lap dog. I mean, she can just sit in your lap quietly and not move for hours and hours and hours. And for some reason, Miriam, you're not able to join me, so I'm not kicking you out. Maybe you're not there. I'm just going to put you back into the waiting room. Okay, and so I'm going to bring Mr. Jack in, and I'll bring you back after Mr. Jack. And we'll see if it's going to work with Mr. Jack. Hopefully this time it'll work. All right, so, yes, she's so tiny. She only weighs about 6 pounds, and she's 3 or 4 years old. She's 4. I can barely hear you.
Oh, goodness. How about now?
Now it's getting better. It's getting better.
I'm not sure what's going
Oh,
on.
there you are, Mr. Jack. Nice to see you again. Yeah, you have this.
It's nice
I
to see you.
remember you have this amazing voice.
You are far too kind.
I remember
Far
you.
too
How could how could anybody forget that voice?
far too kind. Far too kind. For someone who has your voice, really, that's very high praise.
Well,
Thank you.
no, I'm giving the praise to where it's deserved.
Again, very kind. I know it's a busy evening.
What do you got
the
to share
theme-
with us?
So the theme seems to be Jesus tonight.
Mhm.
And after the last time I came on here, I realized I've been kind of missing some things. Really important things have happened in my life. So
Mhm.
to that point, I wanted to share a dream I had. Well, it's technically not a dream because I wouldn't classify it as based on what happened in there. That happened last year. I don't remember the exact circumstances leading up to it. But to be clear, there was no physical trauma,
Mhm.
and there was no intense larger like life event going on. So not like I was going through a breakup or losing a job or something like that.
Now, you mentioned it was a dream. Do you think it's a lucid dream or an actual contact dream or just a regular dream?
It was not a regular dream. I feel like it was one of those. So the way I view dreams is you kind of walk around in your own simulation or in sort of a simulation space where you're allowed to do whatever. And there are lots of people who recount their own dreams, and this sort of thing happens. Like if you start to get too crazy, people will step into your dream. So basically, dreams exist in a space that is not the NDE space, if you want to call it that, but interacts with it, and it's subject to the same rules. So yeah, in that sense, I was beyond the dream space because the things that I was aware of in the dream are not things you would be aware of in a dream or even in real life. So the I was in a classroom, and that was what was very clear about it. It was a classroom. Now visually it was very cluttered. So now looking back, my sense is the impression was it wasn't like kindergarten or college, or I'm sorry, or high school. It would be more like college or people taking night classes sort of thing, right? um and then a person who's teaching, and this was the first thing that I realized later, and why I would not classify it as a dream, disregarding everything else that followed, was the person teaching. It was like, just looking at him, you knew, in the same way I look at you, and my brain just tells me I'm looking at a male human, right? So you're looking at him, and your consciousness is telling you this person lived as a Muslim. So that was very clear, was that I was aware that they had lived on Earth as a Muslim, but the implication is they weren't on Earth. And if they were, they weren't a Muslim right now. So in any case, that was the first thing. The next thing is they were kind of teaching about life, just the broader concepts, 42. And what I really remember was that he would say something and everyone in the class seemed to miss the point. So it was kind of like, I think it was the scene in The Life of Brian where someone comes, the lady comes up and tells the group, hey, Brian's in trouble. And they're like, oh, that's terrible. This calls for immediate discussion. And they turn away from her and just start. So it was very much that sense of that's how the class was taking it. And then there was a disruption. I don't remember what the nature of it was, just sort of a break. But then following, it was just sort of all right, look, forget everything. Here are these 3 points. And that's why I wanted to call, because I woke up and I wrote them down. Side note, I woke up weeping.
Let me
Go ahead.
stop you 1 second. Are you saying in this classroom, Jesus is the teacher?
No, Jesus showed up
Okay.
right after this point, but the person who was teaching was it was just this awareness of, oh, he lived as a Muslim, and because of that, he had certain knowledge that he could pass on to the group.
Okay.
So again, like these are things that make sense in the NDE context, but I've never had a dream like this. And I rarely dream too, so it really stood out. So anyway, the 3 points that came out were: one, we are all equal. It was sort of a, if you don't learn anything else, take these 3 points home with you. So the first was, we are all equal. The second was, of all the forces we can experience, there is only one source. Now that one is interesting to me because I wrote it down, you know, I spoke to my sister, days passed, months. And every time I remember that, I remember it as there are many experiences, but only one source. And so I was very confused to see that I wrote down, of all the forces we can experience, there is one source. But that's, you know, this, I trust this a little more because I wrote this right after waking up. And the very last one was, and this, when I heard this, for some reason, this was why I started crying in the dream and woke up crying. It was, your home can be waiting for you at the end of a retreat, and bracket I have, from life's troubles, or you can take it there with you. And the sort of impression that I was given was of a person who has to commute to work every day, and sort of the nuance there being, you can treat it as, I'm leaving my home in the morning, I've got to get on this commute, I've got to go to work, and so on and so on. You spend time away from this nest of comfort, and then you come back to it. Or you could find ways to take elements, like what makes you comfortable in that nest, take that with you all the way to and from, and it makes the journey easier. So for some reason, I got it like that and started crying and found myself on my knees. And this is why I wanted to jump on, was because I didn't see Jesus's face, but it was a very strong, I saw, quote, the hem of his garment, because I'm basically on all fours. I'm on my knees and my hands. And I just looked up, and I remember seeing maybe about to his knees. And it was a very strong impression of white robes with a hint of red. So he had sort of this, a red sash. And earlier, more recently, as I thought about that red, I realized it's a very subtle, there's something about it where, yeah, there's a red that doesn't exist on this planet. There are reds that are designed to give you that impression. Specifically, the attire the cardinals wear is supposed to project that, but it's off. That's just the best way to describe it. So anyway, I wanted to share that because I remember that being such an important thing, and kind of cross-checking, like, why was he there? What was the point? It wasn't, the only sense I got was he approved. He approved that I understood what I had understood in that moment. And that was all he was there to kind of project. And that was it.
How did this dream change your waking life here today?
Well, so I've been immersed in this stuff for very long. Like, I wrote a work of fiction based, like, about a person who dies and narrates their experience in 2007. So I think remembering it more recently within the last couple of weeks has been really a reminder that I'm the embodiment of the Dunning-Kruger effect in the spiritual sense.
The Dunning-Kruger effect?
Yes.
What is that?
So I realized that I think and have thought that I have greater spiritual rank than I do. And so when I dig into some of these experiences, like, yeah, grace comes to every single one of us, but the magnitude of a miracle does not necessarily mean you have rank. You know, like, if God saves you from dying, or you get miraculously saved from a life-threatening event, that's not to say that, you know, your life is in some sense more important than someone who did log out in that event, which is not how I looked at it. but there are subtle nuances that make their way into the human ego. So yeah, I think if anything, I'm still unwrapping it, but that's what I've unwrapped.
The way I interpreted the second part of what you wrote down was that instead of, going to work and coming home, the going to work and coming home, the going to work part is being here in this incarnation, and then afterwards going home.
Yes, absolutely. That is exactly. So the reason the commute was given as the symbology was kind of to drive home the concepts being reinforced. But yes, you are absolutely right. That is what was being spoken about, which is rather than think that, heaven is this distant place, or, we go back somewhere and while we're here, we're away from it. Find a way to bring what we think we're going there over here. So.
Now, you mentioned that you wrote a book. Is this something that we can find on Amazon?
In theory, I generally don't recommend people find the book because I think it was terribly written. But I am in the Discord, and I think I still have PDFs of it. So if anyone is interested in reading it, by all means, reach out to me. I'll send it to you free of charge.
All right. What is your Is your Discord under Mr. Jack or something else?
It's Raf Jack in Discord.
Ref Jack.
Raf Jack.
Raf. R-A-F?
Raphael. Yes.
Oh, Raphael.
PH.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. All right. Well, Jack, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. We really appreciate you. I'm happy to see you again. Don't be a stranger. Take care of yourself. Have a great rest of your evening.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. I didn't give him his applause. All right, I got to catch up. So many people have been so generous this evening that I got to catch up. So Nina Gathergood, thank you so much for that super thanks. And I think 2 or 3 more went by. Tristan Early, thank you so much for that. Love and light to you. Irina, thank you so much for the super thanks. And Sonia, thank you so much for that super thanks. All right, let's see if we can get Miriam back in this time. I kicked her out. I apologize for that. I don't know. Oh, Susie. You know what happens is, I apologize, Susie. Whenever I remove somebody, it for some reason doesn't automatically let them back in. I should have let you remove yourself. We had this problem 2 weeks ago when I removed somebody. And I'm not sure how you're going to be able to get back in. Let me see if I can go to participants or security or something. I don't know why that does that. That when I remove somebody, it doesn't automatically let them. It doesn't let them back in. What is suspend participant activities? I'm afraid if I'm gonna click that, something bad's gonna happen. I see remove participant. And does anybody know, if you've used Zoom, if I click suspend participant activities, what's going to happen? Because that means somebody's there, and I mean suspending them. That doesn't sound good. If someone knows how I can let her back in, please let me know in the chat so I can let Susie back in. Otherwise, you may have, I don't know if you can somehow sign in under a different account. Oh, as far as I know, it only works if I sign out and sign back, and I can't start over. I'm going to let Eric B in, as Miriam's still not able to join us. Let's see. In the Manage Attendee section of the Invitation tab. All right, where's the Invitation tab? In the Manage section of the Invitations tab, click Edit. Approved next to the attendee and allow them to rejoin. Where is that? Where is this Manage tab? Let's see if I can find that. Thank you for that, Ken. Whiteboards, reactions, records, participants. Is there a oh wait. Manage participants. Okay, this is the tab. This is it. What is this here? Allow participants to mute themselves. Oh. Mute, allow participants unmute, allow participants to rename themselves, play sound, enable waiting room, hide profile, pictures, lock meeting, merge, ask. Invitations tab. Invitations tab. Where is the Invitations tab? I'm not seeing that. This, I guess, is the Participants tab. Apps, whiteboards. I'm not sure about that. Let's see. Invitations tab. All right, well, let's, I hear Eric is here. I just don't see him. Let's pull up his video. And we'll,
Wait a minute.
Hey, Eric. Welcome back.
Hello. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
I can. So if you,
Oh,
for
yeah?
those of you that are new or haven't been here on Saturday nights, Eric has been here as a full-time guest, and he's here to return with us tonight. Welcome back. What do you got to share with us, Eric?
Well, last week I was watching the last open line that you had last week. I was watching it, and you had a guest named Sam.
Okay.
And Sam told a story, and he's the guy that has a big beard. I don't know if you remember him. It was at the end of last week's open line.
I vaguely remember
and
him, yes.
he told this story about going into seeing geometric forms and then going into another realm. And his description of it made me remember what I have. Actually, I had the same experience, and I wanted to reach out to Sam to maybe because Sam said that happened to him 30 years ago, and he wasn't clear about it. So I just wanted to add what happened to me, and I think it's going to help him to understand, because you remember he said at the end he goes into this realm and he sees this big eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember him telling us. Well,
I think he was talking about the.
I saw this.
I think what's happening is my voice is coming through, and we hear my voice echoing through your system somehow. That's okay. I'll just let you talk, and then I won't, and then we won't have that.
Okay. Anyways, I had the same experience. I went and I saw this big eye. It's about 3 feet, maybe 3 to 4 feet, and it's a beautiful eye. It's the most mystical looking eye you can possibly see.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to get this in real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but do you believe the same eye as like what's on the dollar bill and the eye in Egypt, like the all-seeing eye?
Nope. No, that's the thing is I actually looked around the eye, and I noticed that the eye is connected to a head, and it's a dragon. That the weird thing is that he popped into the dragon realm, and that's what I was trying to it's hard to explain. You just move into another dimension, and there's dragons, and they're right in front of you. They have big eyes, the most beautiful eyes you can possibly imagine. And probably what happened is that his higher self brought him back, not to scare him. So he just saw the eye, but if you pull away from the eye, then you see it's connected to a head and to a body. It's just a dragon. So I just wanted to share that. If ever he wants to have more info, he can find me. I was on the podcast 712, and he can ask me some questions, and I'll be able to explain very clearly what I saw. The geometric forms are lighter coming from within these forms. Everything is dark there, but the light is coming from within the dragon. Everything is lit from within. And I've been there a few times, and I think I know now what it's about. The dragon realm is connected to nature. For example, that people say that myth where there's fire breathing dragons. Well, that comes from the fact that sometimes you're looking at a fire, you're camping, you're watching this fire, and you'll see a dragon in the flames. I don't know if you ever experienced that camping or something like that, but for around the world, many generations of people have been seeing this, so they associated that there's fire breathing dragons, but it's just the dragons are connected to the elements, the air, and that's why you see them in the clouds, like the clouds the pictures of the clouds that I sent you. Do you remember?
Yes.
They look like so, but you can actually move into that realm where they are, and that's where Sam went. He was sitting on the toilet, and that happened, and he said that happened 30 years ago, and he still wasn't clear about it. Well, I just wanted to say you were in the dragon realm. I know it's really weird, but I've been there. It's the same thing, geometric forms with an eye, and it's actually a dragon looking at you, and he's looking through you to see, to help you to look within. If you want to go to the higher realms, you have to go through them. They're like guarding the kingdom of heaven in the other realms, and that's what the dragon is. It's real. I know it's out there, but I've been there. I know it's true, and I have like 150 videos of clouds taking the shape of dragons. So I just wanted to say that to Sam, that you went into the dragon realm, and it's probably possible for him to still connect with the dragons. The connection is made, and if he wants to, he could reach out to me or not, depending if he has the pull to do it, and I'll be happy to tell him how I get in contact with that wacky world, because it is weird. But that's pretty much what I wanted to say.
Well, I hope he comes tonight or watches this, if not tonight, tomorrow, so he'll see this message to him. And I believe that you were astral traveling, and that's how you accidentally, I believe, went to that realm, and then they came back with you in a way to this realm, right?
Exactly. Yes, you got it. That's exactly what happened. That's the weird part. The first time I did my breathing exercises like I usually do. Then I lay on the ground, pop out of my body, and I went there. And to be really honest, I was blown away because I never believed in dragons. And there I was in front of this creature, and it was like, wow, what is this? And I saw the eye, and the eye is so beautiful. It's like a living jewel. I've never seen such a beautiful eye, and so mystic looking. The pupil, it's mind blowing, and it has little bumps on the eyelids. It's just a work of art, and it's a living creature. And so after that, I went back another time, and after that, they started appearing in the sky around the house. And I was like, what is going on? And I guess they live in like a different realm, which is very magical. And it just overlaps with this realm, which is, the realm we live in it is magical, but it's more logical, I would say. And so I had around the house for many months, dragons in the sky, and it was my friends came, took pictures. I was sending them dragons. Some of them said, "Can you send me a dragon?" Yeah, no problem. I would ask them, for example, if you want me to send you a dragon, I can do that. I'll ask them if they want you, and you'll see them in the sky. You'll be like, "What? This cloud looks like a dragon," and you just have to open up. And I had a friend in Thailand asked me to send him a dragon. I did, and she took some pictures on the beach, and beautiful dragon, and it's just it's very wacky, so weird, but it's an actual realm that is merging with the earth realm. I guess we're so closed in our mind, but all our ancestors were in contact with the dragon realm. The Vikings, the Druids. In England, you see them everywhere in castles, on paintings, on shields, they're all over China. So many cultures. They're in Africa, and these cultures never actually communicated together. So they were actually, seeing them. And at a certain point, I think when the Industrial Revolution came, people got very logical, and we moved away from that, and now we're coming back, the New Age, and we're opening up to these higher realms, and I'm so happy about that. And that's why I wanted to say to Sam that he wasn't dreaming. You were actually in the dragon realm, and great. I'm so happy for him. It's a beautiful experience.
What is the name of your YouTube channel? If for people who want to go and look at some of your dragon videos.
Dragon Cloud.
Dragon Cloud?
Dragon Cloud.
All right.
Yeah.
So for those of you that want to go see some of his videos, check it out on his channel, Dragon Cloud. Eric, thanks for coming in.
And from there, they can reach me.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks for coming and hanging with us. Thank you so much, Eric.
Bye, brother.
Take care, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.
And we looked at some of those dragon clouds, I believe, during his full podcast that we did together. So if you're into dragons or want to see some of his clouds, go check out his channel. Did anybody ever tell me about how I wasn't really watching and paying attention about how to allow Susie back in? Because I don't see an invitation tab anywhere. All I see is this participants tab, invite, and that's just to invite personal people, contacts, desk phones, email, but I don't really see allowing remove participants to rejoin. Usually you've got to Zoom settings, click in the meeting basic, and then scroll down, meeting basic, and then scroll down to allow remove. Where is meeting basic? View, meeting basic. Ask to unmute. Mute participants, allow, play sound, hide profiles, lock meeting, merge to meeting window. Ask 3 people questions, be open for answers. Waiting room. Joined participants. That's all I'm seeing. We'll try Miriam again while we're waiting. And And while I'm looking to see if I can figure this out, where is this tab that says meeting basic? I guess this is what's difficult. I'm on a PC, on a Mac. I use a Mac for editing, and if I was on the Mac, it would probably be so much easier. No, basic means the Zoom subscription that you don't pay for. I pay for actually this Zoom prescription. Otherwise, if I didn't, the Zoom meeting would only last about 45 minutes. Whiteboards, apps, reactions, record, security. I'm not sure where this is. So remove is bad. Alright, well, Miriam is not here for some reason. Go to setting firstly. Where is settings? I'm not even sure where the settings is. That's what the thing is. I'm not great on PCs. I'm much better on Macs. I've been a Mac person for a long time. I started out as a PC person, but I got away with it for editing because I love the Final Cut Pro program, and so that's why I stick with Mac. But so I've kind of lost my abilities here. It is in settings. I don't even know where settings is. I don't know. That's okay, probably can't. I don't know. I mean, where are the settings for this, for Zoom settings? If I sign out, no, I don't know if it matters or not. Where are Zoom settings? Yeah, I don't know where the settings are. All right, maybe we'll carry on and we'll wait until I'm going to put you back into the waiting room, Miriam. So I'm not kicking you out. Upper right-hand corner with the symbol of a gear. Okay, here's the upper right-hand corner. But there's no gear symbol. If I go like this, I don't see a symbol with a gear anywhere. Maybe you guys are looking at it on your phone. Like when you're on your phone, it's so much easier. The wheel. Tanya says the wheel. Maybe, I don't know why I'm not seeing the wheel. This wheel here, if you guys are talking about that, that's part of that's of my Streamlabs. That's my live streaming software. And this chat is within live stream. This has nothing to do with Zoom. See, I'm moving Zoom around. So, I don't know. I saw my guardian angel. So, hover over it with your mouse and it'll say settings, but there's no wheel here. Like I said, this wheel right here, if that's what you guys are thinking, is part of Streamlabs. And if you see here, it says Streamlabs Desktop 1.2.15. This is all Streamlabs. Only this little window here is Zoom. Try clicking on the dots on the lower right. Yeah, I tried that. I didn't think it gave me anything. Open all meetings, that's it, and close doc. Alright, well, we'll figure it out eventually. Let's bring Mr. Cake in. Mr. Cake is here. See what he's up to tonight. And I think there he is.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hello there, darling.
Darling, I love it out here. Just want to tell everyone I love them so much.
And we all love you too.
Thank you.
So, I've been seeing your videos, and it still looks like it's very cold up there in Minnesota.
Well, I say it's all relative. I wish I would have recorded. So it was like 30 degrees out, and there's a guy running around with just shorts on, and I'm like, yeah, that's a Minnesota summer right there.
Are there any of those what they call polar bears up there? The people who love to go swimming when it's 30, when the
Oh
water's
yeah,
freezing?
they have a polar bear plunge. People jump in there. Lake Superior, that thing is cold. It's cold in the middle of summer. It's cold.
Yeah, I
It's like
bet.
40 degrees.
Yeah, I bet. So what have you got to share with us tonight?
Oh, I'm kind of like I mentioned last September, God started speaking to me,
Hmm.
and they this is how I phrase it. Everything I say, they pretty much disagree with. Is that they put me through? I call it the enlightenment
Hmm.
process, where you go through a different belief system. See, now they're altering my voice, what I can say, so they can talk through me. So let's just do some channel. Let's see, chicken bones, chicken wings. I love snakes on a plane. Woo wee, hot dog. Jump out of this show, and we gotta go do something. Woo, we gotta get out of here. See, they they say like this show's not really for you, but they want me to do things on my own because
Hmm.
my I kind of told my life was kind of going the wrong way. They're altering what I can say right now. And if you watch any of my videos, I usually say they're shutting my butt down, folks, shutting it down, because I just say like, let's see if they even let me say it, because sometimes they just won't even let me talk. Uh,
What do they think about, let me ask you this, what do they think about your channel? Is that the direction they want you to go into?
they don't like anything I do. That's the thing about this is what I say. It's they give people what they want. So it's like I used to think that I had a spirit with me, pressing down on my bed and movie, and now I believe it, everything is God. So everything, like if you think your spirit guide's talking to you, I had a spirit guide talking to me. uh that's God, but they can manipulate our bodies and energy and however they do it to appear that way, to because they want people to have a belief system. They help with anything. I say they're making my juggling and my movement skills like off the charts. I was like amazed at how they did it, but they can also drain me down too. And they shock me awake. They'll like, wake up, time to wake up. And they'll like shock me and they'll like open my eyes up. I'm like, whoa. So yeah, it's
I think you're really going to like this podcast that I'm going to post on Monday. I recorded it today with a woman who, um, I guess I don't know if you'd call it a belief system, but she has something called meta spirituality. And basically, she's kind of saying what you're saying, that everything, I'm God, you're God, we're all the same. When we go back on the other side, we just become one God again. Do you
yeah.
believe
So
that? Like, if I'm
we'll
talking to
see.
you, I should be considering I'm God and you're God, and I'm really talking to myself.
Well, this is what they told me about belief systems. I asked, is there a correct belief system? And they said, no, there's no correct belief system. They keep it so simple with me. They say people want what they want. They like what they want. They even say there's no creator God. They said everything just happened. And there isn't a God like like the Bible says or something like that. There is what you would call the spirit, something that's in us, around us, surrounds us. Um, and they help people get what they want. So it's like that. I was like, that's like the secret behind the secret. The secret was like you think about something. It's like, but I say they have a mind. I talk about the mind interface, that somehow they can interface with us. Either like you could hear a voice in your head, or it could be your own thoughts. They can talk right, or they channeling. Like I mentioned here, I am Planet Xenu. I am here to deliver you a galactic message from Xenu. He loves you all and he wants you to board his spaceship. It will be arriving in the desert at 5 a.m. sharply tomorrow. Please show up. See, like they just kind of like take that over, but like I know what's going on. So I say like they have to feed in. This is what they say when I make a comment on a video. They say either you're feeding into their belief system or you're going against it. So it's like if I watch a Christian video and I say I love Jesus, it's like I don't hate Jesus or anything, but I always say there was a guy who lived 2,000 years ago, and when I was growing up, I thought this. There was a guy 2,000. What does it have to do with today? You see, it's a belief system. So when people see Jesus and whatnot, I say that's God showing up for them. I think they already believe that, but God doesn't care. what people believe, what belief system, spirituality. They don't care. They just want people to live their lives.
I think that the way I see it is that you appear to be more focused on God, right?
Yeah, because they talk to me all day long, every day. They change my dreams. It's like
Why
it's
do you
almost
use
like
the word they?
because they come through in any way they want, any way they want. Like they could come through as like a therapist for me if they wanted to, or a harsher voice, or a meaner voice, or a nicer voice, or comforting, or like sometimes they'll joke with me and we'll have jokes. Like I asked does God talk to animals? They said, yeah, we talk to owls, but they don't give a hoot. So like they'll do like little jokes like that. They're a lot funnier for me. Uh, I'm so absurd that I said, I think Jesus was hoodwinked. They really didn't want me. Like, it just like what I'm getting is that we're all wrong about something. Like, no matter who we are, everyone is wrong. There's no like every single like spiritual guru, they're wrong about something. But you know what? They believe what they believe, and that's what God tells me. It's like, yeah, they believe what they believe.
So basically, I think what you're saying is nobody has all the answers.
Oh, and they said no one will ever figure it out. No one will ever get to the truth. But we just have to live our lives. Because if I ask, like, I don't doubt anyone's experiences, but if I ask about the afterlife or karma or reincarnation, they just say nope. They said this is it. What you see is what you get. That's their attitude.
Do you think
But they
do you think it's impossible for us to know all the answers because our brains can't handle it?
that's just life. You know, we there's let's say knowledge, like the common knowledge, and then there's the mystical belief systems that are kind of like give people purpose in life. They give them meaning and purpose. And like a lot of people say, what's the purpose of life? If you ask God, depends on how they're coming through to you. Because a lot of times those near-death experiences, they said, come back and be nicer to people and take care of your kids because that all benefits us. So it all comes back to us. What because they say, does this benefit you? You see what I'm saying? Like, because I had this mentality that they said that's not helping you, you know, because I'm not doing things. They basically they don't say anyone's wasting their life. They don't say anyone's screwed. They keep it's so simple that it's painful. We'll just say that.
Hmm.
Do things
Interesting.
that you want. That's what they say. And they go, do you want to come on the show? Do you want to, you know what I mean? And they know what's in your heart. And a lot of people have talked to God in an experience, and uh, they can let you say the whole sentence, or they can just, the moment you have that thought, they already know the whole thought and they answer it. So
So are you only doing the things on your channel about your talking videos, or now are you still doing the juggling and the other stuff?
yeah, I do impressions on there. Um, darling, I do the impressions and whatnot. You know, God helps me do that stuff. But they say like we don't really know, and they give me dreams like about like, will I ever get famous or something? Where and then they said, well, you are kind of. They gave me a dream about how I met this really big guy. I think I told this one already, and they said, yeah, he's larger than life. So it's like a lot of times in our dreams, they're representation of things. But they also said you don't need to interpret your dreams. You don't need to do that. But I asked for them, so.
I
And then
feel.
they said,
Go ahead.
no, you.
I was going to say, I feel like what you're saying is just go and what they're telling you is just go live your life. Don't worry about all this
Yes.
other stuff.
Yeah, they don't want anyone to worry about death or anything like that. Or yeah, they don't want people to live by worries, fears. Um, they want people to help them get what they want in life. That's but it's um, yeah, because I don't want to end my life. But they also say like kind of question me about what am I doing? You know, it's like this whole like they're on me all the time. And so when I'm out doing stuff, they kind of give me reprieve. So if I'm out doing something, they said, you know, resting, doing some productive things, or being loving towards other people. Those are typically when they're being really nice to me. Let's do some more channeling. Zeno, I need you. You're my favorite. I love you very much. Stewie. We're coming back, number one. Yeah, and I sometimes I ask about, like, so God does have more knowledge. Like, I've seen visions of the future, but they don't want to give people uh information like that. They just want people to just live a life, and they don't want you knowing everything, winning everything. Like, sure, they could give you all the lottery numbers, whatever, but they don't want to do that.
Well, the good thing is that God obviously has a good sense of humor because he likes having fun and having you do impressions.
Well, they like it because we like it. You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't have wants, needs, desires, however that. I don't even know what it is, because I asked them, like, um, it's not God's not a thing. God can't change because things change, people change, people talk. Because I said God talks to me, and they said no, God doesn't have a voice. God doesn't have a mind. But I think we have a greater mind that somehow, because I went into these games, like after your podcast, they'd put
Mhm.
me into a game, like where I had to like battle demons and whatnot. And I thought I was fighting for souls, and then I thought I was being drained, like they drained my energy down too, and I thought I was going to hell, and having to battle demons down there, and
Hmm.
wow, and it goes on and on and on. Lately, they've been, I think, pretty nice to me. Haven't been going to hell or anything.
Are you still going out to places and talking to people live in your community?
Yes, especially with younger people. I like younger people because they typically like juggling, and yeah, they started following me on TikTok and whatnot. Like, I'll just go up to them and say, "Hey, look at this juggling." I just because God made it. I say they increased my abilities. They made it easier for me to do things. I don't know how they did that, but
Yeah, that I guess I don't know if you were answering. Someone in the chat wanted to know how you got your abilities.
well, you know what? You just work for something and ask God to help you do it. But it was last September they changed me as a person. Like, my life was going downhill bad. I might have ended it. It was not looking good, and they said, "Well, they'll put in, we'll give him her all she's got, Captain." Like, that's kind of their attitude. Like, they told me there's no miracles, there's no nothing. There's, like, they work through people, with people, all that. They can help people do things. But it's like, internally, it's like, how do we change what we want? And that's the thing. It's like, yeah.
Hmm. Um, you mentioned that you said you might have ended it. What did you mean by that?
Oh, my life is very difficult. So God's stepping in to make sure that I can handle the difficulties in life, the frustrations and all the difficulty. Because I say it's not one problem. Because people typically say, "Oh, one problem's not a big deal," but you keep stacking it up, and all of a sudden you got a big mess. And that's how I feel about my life. It's overwhelming me because my dad wrecked my life with bad dentistry 18 years ago, and that didn't get corrected. And then it was pain, suffering, no caring, no support. I felt like people were taking advantage of my suffering, because I couldn't fight back. Because in life, you gotta be tough. You gotta, and it helps to have friends, family that are gonna, support you, because not everyone likes you out there. I'm so glad that the people here like me.
Yeah, everybody here loves you. We all love you. And I was curious if, like, well, there's some people that have had NDEs and now they feel like they're a walk-in. So I was wondering if that's what you were thinking.
Hey, of course, you're walking, of course. That, like, I don't, I think everything is God, but I don't know. It's, they're shutting me down on that one. They don't want me to comment on that stuff right now. But hello, Jeff. I love you very much. Hello, Jeff. I love you very much. I love everyone out there, and I just want to say bye. That's God doing that. God, they took me over there, but they helped me with dancing, juggling, all that stuff. Maybe you can go check out my channel or something. But I'll say bye now.
All
Love
right,
you all.
everybody go check out Steven's channel. It's called Steven Cake. We love you, Steven. Have a great night.
Have a great night, everyone.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
All right, that was Mr. Steven. Okay, click on my profile settings. Where is my profile? Where is my profile picture?
Where is your
Where is, I don't,
here?
no, that's not, that is again, that's, that is, Streamlabs, or, yeah, Streamlabs right here, Streamlabs. I don't see a, if I make this full screen, I still, you know, that's now, this is all
Where's
pure
your
Zoom.
profile?
Yeah, I don't see it either. I wonder if I right click down here. No, there's
Maybe I
nothing.
should ask.
Robert's never used Zoom, so I don't think he's going to know it. No, he's never used it. And then there's this view thing, but this is just. And then there's this thing, and then there's this thing, and this is sound and video security. And I didn't give Steven a big applause. This is for you, Steven. So I'm not sure. I don't know where my profile is. I might have to mess with this when we're off the air and try to work with this. Because I'm not seeing this stuff. So let's bring in, should we try Miriam again? We'll try her again just for a moment and see if she's able to make it this time. And while we're waiting for her, there's my name. You can't click on that. Uh-oh, what did that do? Okay, that got out of that. All right, I don't think Miriam's still able to get in, so I'm going to put you back into the waiting room. And we'll bring Julie in. Did we have a super thanks while I was... You can't click on that. Uh-oh, what did that do? Sure. Hey, Julie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. I thought you were bringing in Miriam. I just came on to see if I can help you navigate the Zoom.
Oh, okay, great.
But let me just turn you down. Okay. So the white box. I think I'm a little delayed right now. There's a white box that you pop up that when you go to admit people.
Yeah, this little participants, yes.
I'm not seeing it, but at the top it was it said manage there, and now it's not there for some reason. Waiting room, message.
Yes.
It used to say manage beside it.
Yeah, I don't see anything that says maybe I'll make the box bigger. No.
It was there earlier because I seen that when you were talking about I seen that word there. Okay. The other option is if you go to security at the bottom.
Right.
There should be a meeting settings in the security at the very bottom.
Meeting settings.
Over one to your left. See, beside participants.
There's security.
No, go down. Go down with your mouse.
Okay.
Back down to where you just hit participants. Go back down to the bottom of the screen. And there, nope. Bottom of the screen where it says like chat and resend.
Okay, there's participants. When I hit the
get out of the white thing that you're at now. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Go to the bottom of your screen.
Okay.
Like, you know how you can click end where it says end?
Right.
Like that bottom.
Okay.
There, security. You just had it.
So I'm at end. So you want me to go over to...
Yeah, try that. And then I don't know what they were telling you to do after that, but you don't want to suspend participant activities because then you'll just... well, actually, technically, you just mute the Zoom people. But is there something in there that they were talking about re-allowing? No, there's not. So if she's still listening, the easiest way, instead of you fussing around, the easiest way for her is to use another device or sign in with a different email.
Right. If I had, like I said, I'm used to a Mac, and the Mac would have, what do they call that? Properties. And you could just hit properties and adjust everything right there. But there's no properties here.
So the other stuff at the bottom of your screen, like there is a wheel at the very bottom, but I think that's like your desktop. So beside the web search at the very, very bottom, it says type here to search.
Yeah,
There's
that's just part of the Windows.
That's Windows.
Yeah, so if I go full, this is full screen now. So now all you're seeing is Zoom, except down here is Windows. See, that circle is Windows, but this is Zoom in here. And there's nothing to adjust Zoom.
No, there isn't. And the top left corner where it says Zoom meeting, have you tried clicking on that?
Yeah, that's all it does is do this.
Nothing.
Meeting ID, passcode, participant, security settings, overview, invite link.
Well, if she's still on here, I think it's much easier if she can just sign in.
Oh, wait, here I'm in settings. Somehow I got into settings.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, so.
Now do what they told you to do.
Which is video, audio, screen share, chat, Zoom apps, background, recording, profile, statistics, feedback, keyboard. I still see anything about participants here. General. Okay, here we go. General. When I closed, always show confirm when I leave, ask to confirm when I leave a meeting. I want to take that off and see what it is. Show user profile automatically. I don't see anything about letting someone rejoin. And
you're definitely getting somewhere.
Stop my audio, Zoom updates, channel update, light dark, restore to default, more Zoom settings. That's going to probably bring it up on the internet, and I don't want to do that. It's going to really mess up my stream. So I don't think this is going to be I guess something I'm going to have to adjust later.
Start Zoom window, exit, automatically copy, allow. I think you might be in there right now. Hold on, ask me to confirm. Stop
accessibility.
Huh.
No. I don't
Sorry,
know.
yeah, I was just trying to when they had said something about the when you had that little white box, I'd seen what they were talking about. And I thought, oh well, I can come on and show you. But it's easier if she can just sign in on a different device or just quickly create another email. I don't think you have to have an email to actually sign in. But if you switch devices, I don't even know who I'm talking to, but whoever was trying to get back into share, switch devices. Go back to a phone or a computer that you weren't on, and it will let you back in. When you remove somebody, it's for security reasons. So whatever account or whatever device they came in on, if you remove them, they're not allowed back in because that device is registered.
All right.
If that makes sense. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought I could be of more help to you.
That's okay. While I got you here, maybe you'd like to come next week and lead another meditation.
I would be honored to.
Yeah.
I'm working on something for you, actually. I might as well just show you since I've got you here.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. It's like a collage.
It's not done yet. It's going to be 3D and some hair. And I'm going to mail it to you eventually when it's done.
That's cool. Good job.
So I won't take up your time. You can, whoever's coming in next, or I can help. I thought I could help.
I appreciate it. Well, thank you, Julie. We'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Oh, I was going to try my new remove. We'll give her a round of applause for her help. And we'll see if Miriam is able to join us or not. We've got about 15 minutes left, so it's my last call if you want to come in and hang with us this evening and share with us tonight. if not, we'll see. I wonder if Miriam's even here. Like if she knows that we're trying to get her in and she can't get in. Like I wonder if I can... no. So, let me see if I do chat. And let's see if we say... I'm going to say hi to Miriam. And we'll see if she's even here. Miryam. Nope, and put a space there. Hi, Miriam. So now I messaged her. We'll see if she's actually... Yeah, Susie's there. That's the one that we're trying to get in. That's the whole problem is it won't... Once I remove somebody, it won't let them back in. I don't get that. Yeah, we'll have to do it next Saturday unless I was trying to figure it out. Someone was saying that if I go to security settings, overview, disabled, block users from names, password, I don't know if I can mess with this. And go to maybe this thing. Now, someone said I could scroll through this, but there's no scrolling here. Maybe on general, is there a scroll? Oh, there is a scroll. They were right. Okay, that's reactions, navigation, team chat, phone, contacts. But I don't see anything here that says when closed, minimize, automatically copy invite. See, one thing, I have a few things that are checked. Always show meeting control, show profiles, automatically keep people here. That's just how much memory and how much of the computer it's eating up. Profile, that's me. Recording, background, team chat. Maybe this is it. Missed calls, contact requests. Separate my channel, unread messages, notifications. We want to remote view, an item to remote view. Okay, we can get that for you for next week. Let me see what Mara can find for us. You probably need that though. Scroll down again and click on meetings. Meetings, where does it say meetings, Tanya? Meetings in what? Under general or what? Navigations, reactions. I don't see... Okay. I have in my hand general, scroll down. Okay, I'm in general and I'm scrolling down. I see theme, I see Zoom updates. Ah, meetings. Here we go. Doesn't let me do anything in meetings, so. It just says meetings. Let me see. I can only... When I click on meetings, it doesn't let me do anything. Anyways, I have a thing in my hand. You cannot see it. It's in my hand and I'm going to put it on my desk here for next week. It is here for you to remote view next week. It'll be interesting to see if you guys what you guys will see. She says general. I'm in. Is under what? Phone. Yeah, I know. There's phone, there is meetings, but when I click on it, it doesn't do anything. See? Meetings. Maybe I can't be in a meeting to adjust it. Maybe that's the problem. I can't be in a live meeting. It won't actually let me adjust anything. Activity center, view more settings, and that I have to probably look at that like on the web or something. Start use dual monitors. That'd be pretty cool. I need to get dual monitors. Zoom is not user friendly. Apparently it's not. At least on a PC. I'll have to probably, figure this out after the stream and get this sorted out. But we don't, Top Notch is here. Let's bring Top Notch in and we'll put Miriam back into the waiting room. Oh, we're waiting for Top Notch. So I'm sorry about that. Susie, I don't know how else to get you in. We've tried. And I'm not able to do it so far for some reason. What happened? I thought Top Notch. Here we go. I must have not clicked on it. Lock meeting, hide profile, pictures, share screen. Collaborate with Zoom apps. And that's another interesting thing. I don't know any of you guys use Zoom. And the ones of you do, if you look over here on the right side, you've got all these new Zoom apps. And I tried looking at that a little bit to figure out what these do, and I don't know what they do, if anybody knows. All right, thanks, Susie. I'm sorry this is what happened today. Just is what it is. I guess you got your camera working. All right, let's see what's going on with Top Notch. There he is. I see you. I don't hear you yet. Let me get my... It's Top Notch. Okay, I'll put this up. Waiting for audio to sync. Are you there?
You got me?
All right, I got you. Hello, Top Notch.
How's it going?
Great, how are you? And where are you zooming from?
We're in middle Georgia, Eatonton, Georgia.
Eatonton, Georgia. I used to live in Athens and I used to live in Marietta, so I don't know, in the middle of Georgia.
Yeah, so we're halfway between Athens and Macon.
Halfway between Athens and Macon. All right, cool.
Right.
What's going on over there?
Not a whole lot. Just enjoying life and enjoying your podcast.
Thank you.
My wife used to listen to your podcast when I was sleeping.
Oh, wow.
And so I was hearing all these near-death experiences and it's just kind of going into my spirit, and I'm learning all this stuff, and it really just started changing my life and my whole belief system. And I grew up in Christian church, and there was a lot of law was a big thing in my life. I used to read the Bible and everything was like unattainable to me. It was like law that I could never get victory over, you know what I mean? And it was like, I always felt like a slave to the law. And I listened to that interview you did with Vinnie Tolman. He's a guy that died in the Dairy Queen bathroom.
Gosh, I remember the name. I remember it vaguely. I don't remember everything.
He was like a bodybuilder, and him and his friend took this supplement, and then they were going to the gym, and then they pulled over into the Dairy Queen, and his buddy passed out on the table, and so they called him so anyways, I got after watching that interview with you, I got his book, and I listened to his book, and it just, everything started making sense to me. God revealed himself to me and who he was, and it was like, I realized that, that box of morality that our family puts us in, everybody has, their core belief system that they have no choice, that they come up learning. And so it just kind of showed me that I don't have to believe what necessarily was taught to me. I have the ability to open up that box and say, I'm going to take out some of these things that don't quite fit well with, me having victory over certain things in my life. And so I just started taking out a lot of things out of that box and just realizing that I've got control over what goes on in there. And since then, God's just been showing to me, the Bible makes more sense to me now than it ever did, because God is he's pure love, right? It's all about love. And a lot of people get religious, they focus so much on following the law that they miss love. And so God's shown me, like, look, I've been there the whole time. I'm all over the Bible. It's all about love. And it's just a lot of people don't realize that. And another thing is, like, there's truth in everything, right? I always thought, well, there's only one way. There's only one truth, And I've just come to realize that there's truth in everything. There's fallacy in everything. Why not try to go and take the good from all these things and use it to succeed in my life, And it's kind of like an enlightenment kind of thing, like Stephen was talking about earlier. He's like in this enlightenment period, I guess. So that's kind of what's happening in my life, and your podcast has been the number one contributor, and it's obviously through all the people and their stories, and all the things that I've absorbed through this. But without I wouldn't be on this journey without you guys,
Cool.
And so we appreciate you, you and your wife, and you guys are, what you're doing it's amazing. You guys you're changing the conscious of, of our species, the energy levels are raising, because I was somebody that was so blind and so lost in religion, and all that's gone now, man.
Oh, well,
I'm not perfect, but I got a long ways to go, and I'm still the same Kyle, but I'm getting victory in a lot of areas of my life, and it's breaking chains, of generational curses, if you will, or whatever you want to call them, and so yeah, thank you guys, man. You guys are awesome.
Well, we thank you for listening, because without you and all the other listeners, we wouldn't be able to do this podcast. And I want to say thank you again for the feedback, and you are listening to it at the perfect time, because I think when you are in bed and you're kind of drifting to sleep, you're in that theta brainwave state, and so you can absorb all this stuff. Even if you're not paying attention, your brain's kind of still paying attention, and your subconscious is. Have you had any like lucid dreaming or it's kind of out of the normal dreaming?
Yeah, so I mean, I need to start journaling. I do, like, now I'm more, since I've learned a lot from a lot of different people, I've been trying to, like, do meditation, and I've downloaded, like, what's the name of that? The Institute.
The Monroe Institute?
Monroe Institute. Yeah, the guy that was on there that you posted last night, he was talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I downloaded some of that stuff, and I was listening to it last night, and it was the first lucid dream I've had in months.
Wow.
And I got up and I went to work today. So I'm a tree climber. And so I had to go catch up with a customer today. And so I didn't even have a chance. I got up and I just left. So I didn't get a chance to write anything down, but I'm not the best journaler. I know that helps you, on this journey. So I need to be more disciplined in that aspect of it. But I've been listening to a lot of, like, outer body experience meditations when I go to bed, and I haven't had any experience yet. Eventually it will, it'll work its way in, as the more I do it. And so I just have to be more disciplined, essentially, and kind of put down and spend time. Like Vinny was talking about, he said, what you do for the first, like, 30 minutes to hour of your day is your religion. What you do for the last 30 minutes to an hour of your day is your religion. So I have to be more disciplined about that, instead of, like, maybe playing a video game until, like, the last 30 minutes before bed. I should be taking that time, for more meditation and prayer and things of that nature. And what's crazy is, I used to be like, oh, I got to pray in Jesus' name, so that was always something that was a big part of my belief system. And now it's like, I'll just wish something, dude, and it just happens. And it's like, like that guy was saying earlier, it don't, like Stephen was saying, you don't have to. They don't care about what you believe, and I'm starting to believe that, man. That I was always like, Jesus is the only way. So that was always I was an evangelical Christian, and so, not that I think there's anything wrong with that. It's just that sometimes you can be blinded when you think you have things figured out, right? And me feeling like I don't have things figured out is more liberating than anything. And so I don't know. I'm just kind of all over the place here, man. But
well, you're doing great.
But yeah, dude, I just wanted to just chime in here. I know you've been having some problems with the Zoom, and I just got my Zoom set up the other day, and I did that
RJ Spina.
RJ Spina, yeah, he came on like last week or whatever, or no, it's been a few weeks ago now,
right?
And he's doing he did like a Zoom meeting or whatever.
Oh, cool.
So I did that, and that's why I got Zoom set up, is when I did that with him, and that was pretty cool, man. I had he did this like long meditation thing at the end of it, and it was really neat. I was seeing like all these crazy colors, like this kaleidoscope going on, and I just had this like, everybody in the room had this crazy nerves going. It was pretty neat, you know. And so that kind of like, having that experience is just, it's more encouraging to continue on, you know. And really, I guess what spurred this was my best friend died on the 28th of February of last year.
My condolences to you.
Thank you. And young guy, you know, it was just a tragic, nobody seen it coming. And so since then, like my wife asked me earlier today, she said, well, who do you think would be your guardian? And I'm like, well, John is. And she's like, well, John has only been dead for a year. So who's prior to that, you know? She's like, I know he's up there now, you know? And I'm like, well, I just think that, I never believed in reincarnation. It was always, to me, it was always like, well, this is your one chance. You know, if you don't accept Jesus in your heart and atone for all these things, you know, this is your only shot, you know? So I was always in fear, you know, and RJ actually is an old video that you did with him a long time ago, or a while back. And he was talking, or maybe I went on his channel a while ago, and he said something about reincarnation, about how the Bible talks about reincarnation, you know, like the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they were talking about who Jesus was. And they're like, well, maybe he's Elijah come back from the dead, or John the Baptist returned from the dead, you know? And so Judaism, in their belief system, had reincarnation was part of their belief system. So, you know, for me to go, like, those are things that confirm what I believe in now, you know, when I go back and see those things, because it's still a huge part of who I am. You know, Christianity, you know, it's just, things make more sense now to me. Right. It's not so black and white. You know, I see that, you know, I know that man has, religion is made by man, right? They've been using it for a long time to control people. And, you know, even in the Catholic Church, they say that the church is above the Bible. So that's their justification for changing the Bible. And they're just out with it, you know. Everybody else isn't. They just want people to believe that it's gospel, and, you know, who knows what has happened. And I think that is, you know, why there's been pollution in the religion, in all religions, right? It's not just Christianity. I'm not bagging Christianity, you know. I believe more in the Bible now. Than it makes more sense to me now than it did before.
Are you a member of our Discord?
No, I'm not. I actually have Discord, but me and my son play a video game together, and we were on the Discord together. But I should join on there, because I know that you guys have a lot of resources. Yeah, and I'm pretty active on stuff like that as well. I mean, I own a business, so I don't, you know, have a ton of time to do stuff like this. But you know, if it's, you know, shooting messages back and forth, that's, you know, it's not highly involved, but
right. But I checked the other day, and there's like over 500 people there.
Wow. Oh my God.
So there's a lot of, and honestly, I don't pop in that often. I probably should, but I don't. Usually I wait when something's not going well. Someone will notify me that, hey, you know, something's messed up, or somebody's acting up negatively in there. And then I'll go in there and handle the situation. But otherwise, I don't pop in. But like I said, I should, but there's a lot of people in there. So if you and your wife want to meet, you know, hang out with other like-minded people, that's the place to go.
Absolutely. And really, you know, it's like, so we don't have a church we're from the West Coast. We moved from Washington State 6 years ago.
Wow, that's a big change from there to Georgia.
With, you know, we have 3 kids as well.
What made you decide to move to Georgia?
Well, at that time I had a different business, and some of my commercial contracts were they're closing up, and I had an opportunity to rebid on them, and I didn't really want to continue in that line of contracting. And the church that we were in, we had some commitments that we'd made for a couple years prior to that, and so all of our commitments were kind of like wrapping up, and we wanted to change. We wanted to kind of relocate. There were some issues in the public school system there with religion. Like I said, we were evangelical Christians at that time. Not that I won't share the word of Christ with people, because I will, but I think I just do it in a different manner now. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of other things to add to that. But there was just some issues with school and intolerance, especially towards Christianity. And I traveled, my best friend that I said that died, we traveled the US 3 years prior to that. Or no, I'm sorry, 5 years prior to that. And we'd left Boston, and there was 1.5 feet of snow on the ground. And we came to Georgia because we were just touring the US, and it was 82 degrees. Yeah. And I was like, and then living in the Puget Sound in Washington, where it rains 300 days a year, it was like, this is crazy, this is amazing. And so my heart, once we came to Georgia, my heart was set for this area, just, it was awesome. And then after me and my wife got together, she has family here.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, look, we've been looking for a change, why don't we just, your dad's down there, why don't we just go down there and start over? And we had like $5,000, and we did.
Great. Sounds like a great decision.
Yeah. Best thing that ever happened to us moving to Georgia.
That's great.
It really is.
Well, I think you said your name was Kyle, right?
Yeah.
Kyle, well, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us tonight. And thank you and your wife for watching our videos. We really appreciate you. And we wish you the best, bud.
You as well. All right. Bless you guys. We'll talk to you all
later. Take care.
Later.
God bless you.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So, that's it. Basically, we had a busy evening. I'm sorry that some of it got. My headphones are wrapped up in Mika's tail down here. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Susie back on. We just couldn't figure this out. But before we go, I never got through there. So underneath the video, there is a link to the JeffMara Facebook page if you want to follow that. Sometimes I post other stuff on there that you don't see here, like news articles and things. You're welcome to friend me on Facebook. I'm accepting friends until I got 5,000, so my 5,000 limit. And you will see that my last name is Reynolds. Mara is my dear wife, and Mara is not my last name, for those of you who don't know. And she is the chief editor of the podcast, so that's what she does here, and I'm kind of the face of the podcast, basically. So those are there. I have the JeffMara Podcast Indie Eclipse channel. That's another one of our channels, and I've been better at posting more regularly there. And basically those are just taking the NDEs and stripping out the beginning and the end and just putting up the pure NDE. So they're usually about 5 to 15 minutes long. And those are good for people who don't have an hour to invest in a full video. They just want to hear the NDE. So that's you. That's a good channel for you as well. What else is down there? As I mentioned before, there's a link, or if I didn't, there's a link to our Discord channel or server, and that's Discord is kind of like Facebook, but it's different. It's a chat room, but you can also video chat and I believe audio chat. So if you want to go hang out with like-minded people and chat and post stuff and whatever you like to do, that's there for you. You get a free Discord account, and then once you set that up, then you go to my link, and that'll give you access to join the server. And once you're there, you can have fun. Also, there is the JeffMara Music channel, and eventually I'm going to get into creating music videos, like meditation music and maybe healing music. I used to be a music producer, and I produced a Latin artist before, and I just I haven't done much with that in a long time, but there's old videos and stuff I made that I posted in that channel. I just wanted to kind of start it and jumpstart it. And so I threw those up there, and there's some old other videos that I'm trying to get access to them and put those back up. And they're like, I used to make these little wild music videos with all these aliens in the background and stuff, and I want to kind of re-edit those and put that up. So I'm trying to get those, and so hopefully that'll be all ready when I want to finally start doing music healing as a side channel. And so that's I think what else is there. Anyways, I guess that's it, guys. Thank you so much for not only joining us tonight, but watching our videos. We really appreciate you guys. Leslie Kings is ready for you. He says in the chat he's ready. So if you want to go to Leslie's channel and listen to him play some awesome music, as well as still keep hanging out and chatting, I'm sure he would love to have you there. We loved having you here, and we really appreciate you guys. So thank you all again. We love you. God bless